welcome to today's class. So the main focus on the class for today is all about warrior poses, Virabhadrasana. So warrior 1, 2, 3, humble warrior, throwing in a little bit of half moon there as well. So have a yoga block handy to help you maybe to get into half moon pose, and focus on your core. So as we flow through the class, think about engaging your Uddiyana Bandha, drawing your core up and in, supporting your lower back, strengthening your core, and helping you to transition from one pose to another. Have fun and enjoy. But we're going to start off lying down as ever, because it is the best way to start a class. So have your yoga blocks nearby. If you've got a yoga strap, have that nearby too. And just come to lying on your mat. Knees bent, feet mat width, and just let the knees fall in towards each other, supporting the leg weight on your knees. Turn your hands so the palms are facing upwards. And then just relax your hips, relax the shoulders. Feel your spine extending. Close your eyes for a moment. And then just gently turn your head, draw your chin to one shoulder. Back to center, over to the other shoulder. And then just rolling your head a couple of times, easing out the neck. And then coming to your still pose. On your next inhale, lift your hands up. And I want you to reach them really high up to the ceiling, and so the shoulders lift. And then I want you to draw your shoulders down. Actively pull the shoulders down. Palms are facing. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, really slowly with control, start to lower your arms out to the side, coming to a T shape. Deep breath in. As you exhale, draw Uddiyana Bandha up and in. Try and imprint your lower back. On your next inhale, start to lift the hands, the arms up, palms facing. And exhale, slowly lower them down to the side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, T shape. Next inhale, draw belly button up and in. Bring one knee up. Bring the other knee up, bringing your legs to your 90-degree bend. Have a little look. Check knees are over hips. Feet are roughly level with your knees. Draw belly up and in, and slowly start to lower both legs to the left. Only coming about halfway. You don't want your hips or shoulders to lift. Pause here. Inhale back to center. Exhale halfway down the other side. Keep both hips, both shoulders on the mat. Inhale up, back to the first side. Back to center and over to the other side. And then bring the knees back up. Lower the feet to the mat. Soles of the feet together, knees drop out to the side. Supta Baddha Konasana. Just let the knees draw down. Relax your hips. Let go of any tension in your hips or upper thighs. And then on your next inhale, bring your hands back up, palms facing. And exhale, lower them behind you. Long, long reach. Maybe the hands don't come all the way down. Don't worry too much about it. And then slide them out in a big circle, bringing them all the way down to your hips. Inhale, up to the ceiling. And exhale, lower behind you and circle them around. Inhale, up, lowering down, and exhale, circling back, arms by your side. Take hold of your thighs with your hands, draw the knees up, bring them into the chest, give them a hug, and take a little rock from side to side, massaging your lower back. You can turn your head as well if that feels nice. And then pause with your knees into the chest.
Keep hold of the left knee. Bring the right leg long on the mat. On your next inhale, lift head and shoulders. Draw knee to nose, nose to knee. And then release head and shoulders. Swap legs. Draw the right knee and extend the left leg. Inhale, lift up with the nose. Exhale, release. Swapping again. Inhale, lift up, tap nose to knee. And release. Swap sides. Inhale, up, nose to knee. And then release the head and shoulders. Bring both knees in, hands on the knees, and just draw big circles over your hips, holding onto the knees. Really nice, wide circles. Using the breath, inhaling in, pushing them out, exhaling away and back. And exhale. And the next time your knees are in the chest, pause. Push the knees away, draw them out, pull them back together. Big circles going the other direction. And I also want you to think about your Uddiyana Bandha. So drawing your belly button up and gently sucking it in towards your spine. Pause here with your knees bent. Bring hands behind the thighs and start to rock and roll up, bringing yourself to your cross-legged seat pose, resting hands on the knees. And you can just have your feet crossed in front of you, a little bit closer, or maybe taking a half lotus, or maybe full lotus legs, if that feels good for you. Hands on the knees, draw length into the spine, shoulders up, back, down and forwards. Inhaling up and back, exhaling down. Big, big circles, only the shoulders moving. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as they circle behind you. And then pause, change direction, back, up, forwards and down. Articulate your shoulder blades. Really rotate them. This should feel quite nice. And then pausing here. Bring your hands to heart center, draw thumbs to breastbone, elbows wide. Reset your bandha, drawing up and in, and draw length into your spine. Can you lengthen your neck? Can you pull your shoulders away from your ears? On your next inhale, pushing palms together, reaching hands up. Open your eyes as you look up and keep the arms lifted. Drop chin to chest. Inhale, lift. And exhale, chin to chest. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, chin to chest. And then just bringing your head to neutral. Release the hands, bringing them out to shoulder height. Draw belly up and in and slowly start to turn. Twisting, looking over one shoulder. Releasing back to center and over the other shoulder. Releasing back to center. Coming back to the first side. Twisting and then release your fingertips to the floor. Push into your sits bones as your spine lengthens and push into the floor to see if you can twist yourself a little bit further. Squeeze the shoulder blade behind you. Turn your head a tiny bit more. Breathing here. Deep inhales and long, slow exhales. And on your next inhale, release your arms back to shoulder height. And then we're going the other side, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, lengthen into the spine. And exhale, push into the floor to twist yourself round a little bit more. Drawing belly button up and in on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze the shoulder blade behind you. Turn your head a tiny bit more. Breathing here. And then release fingertips in front of you. Start to creep your fingertips forward, hinging from the hips. Slide your hands away from you and pause.
A little rock from side to side, slide the hands further. A little rock from side to side, creep the fingertips forward and then lower chin to chest. Breathing here, relax the shoulders, relax your head, your neck. Deep, slow inhales and exhales. And then on your next inhale, walk your hands back, walk yourself upright, and then either rolling over your knees or bringing your feet out to the side and coming to all fours, setting up for a few rounds of cat-cow. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. Lower the belly, lift your tailbone, push hard into the hands. Drop the belly a little more. Can you sink your belly and your lower back down a little bit more? And then push into hands and knees, arching up chin to chest. Releasing to your cow. And then lifting up high into your cat. Pull belly button up and in as you lower. And as you draw up, keep that core nice and strong. Moving between the two poses at your pace. You might be moving faster. You might be moving more slowly. You choose what feels right for your body. And then we're just going to pause the next time you're in a neutral spine. Extend right leg behind you. Keep hands on the mat. Lift that right leg up. Have a look behind you. Is it roughly level with your hip? And then start to draw circles going one way, like you're painting on the wall behind you with your heel. Keep the foot flexed. Keep the core engaged. And then change direction. Little circles going the other way. And then pause. Bend the knee. Can you then pulse your leg like you're trying to kick your foot up towards the ceiling? Nothing else is moving. You're just hinging from the hip. Knee is lifting, foot is lifting. For another 3, another 2, another 1, and release. Reset your hands, and then left leg lifts long behind you. Inhale, lift. Check behind you. Is it roughly at hip height? And then start drawing little circles, really small, at the size of a tiny little cake plate or a saucer. Drawing one way, and then change direction, drawing the other way. And pause, bend the knee, and just start to lift the knee, pulsing, quick, short little pulses up towards the ceiling. Nothing moving except for that leg. For another 3, another 2, another 1, and release. Bring your feet mat width, big toes touch, lower hips to heels, slide your forearms on the mat, lower the forehead, give your wrists a little bit of love, articulate the wrists, clench your fingers into fist and then spread them wide. Ease out any wrist tension you might be feeling. Relax the hips, relax your shoulders. Feel length in your spine, in your lower back, as your hips sink down. Another couple of breaths here. And then lifting your head. Extend your arms long, elbows lifted, tuck toes, and we're coming up. First down dog of the day. And start to walk out the dog. Push one heel to the floor and pause. Swap sides, push the other heel to the floor. And then moving slowly from one side to the other. Extending out hamstrings, extending out your calves. A nice little stretch for your feet. Moving at your pace. You can go faster, you can go slower. You can twist a little bit in the hips, looking underneath one arm and then under the other. Find what's going to feel nice for your lower back here. And then gradually, slowly coming to your still dog. Lift your head
Are your hands shoulder width? Are you pushing every part of your fingers and hands into the mat? Push your chest closer to thighs, lift those hips, and finally lower the heels, breathing here. Give your head a nod, a shake, and then soften in the knees. Walk your feet up to the top of the mat, big toes touch, heels apart, in a deep fold. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands as flat as you can either side of the feet. Tuck chin to chest. We're going to roll up super slowly, arms dangling. So gradually, super slowly, chin tucked to chest, as you slowly with control roll up. Once your legs straighten, your spine straightens, head lifts, arms reaching out, reaching up, and to heart center. Before we move into our flow, we're going to do a little bit of coconut tree, which we've been practicing since I got back from India. So you can stay on your mat, or if it's more comfortable, come onto the floor. I find it much easier on the hard floor. Hands come to hips, shoulders up, back and down. Engage your core. Lift one foot. So you want a really high step with the heel. So you're on your toes and just the very lowest part of the bottom bit of your ball of the foot, and place it down and stretch out the other side. I want you to picture wearing super high stiletto shoes. And then if it feels okay, you can start to swap from one side, moving up and down, moving from one foot to the other, stretching out the foot, finding your balance. And it really helps to look at something on the floor in front of you that's not moving. So don't look at the screen, and just move from one side to the other. And then maybe pick up speed a little bit, moving a little bit faster, finding your balance while you're up at the top, maybe pausing, and then speed it up a bit, having a little play. And then release your heels down, release your hands, bringing them to heart center, interlace fingers. And you're slowly going to turn the palms away, lift the arms up. Now, I want you to get the sense that I'm putting my hand underneath the back of your hands, and I'm pushing the hands up towards the ceiling. If you're wearing rings like me, you might have to rotate them. So that palms are facing up, biceps are more or less by the ear, shoulders pulling down. Now pull your belly button up and in, and slowly start to come up onto the ball of your feet. And then start lifting up higher, coming up into your tippy toes. Look at something that's not moving. I wobble badly in this pose. And when you're up as high as you can go, push the arms even further away from you. Look at something that's not moving as you come ever higher up onto the balls of your feet. If, like me, your ankles are wobbling from side to side, it's a good way of strengthening them. Keep reaching the arms up, push them a little bit straighter. If you tip forwards like I just did, just reset yourself. Keep breathing here, keep pulling the shoulders down. We're going to hold this for another 10, 9, straighten the arms, 8, 7, push the hands further, 6, 5, come up a tiny bit higher on your feet, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release down. Roll your shoulders one way and roll them the other way. And then shrug, squeeze, 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 relax, squeeze, relax. And then just start to release any arm and shoulder tension by gently just flinging your arms around, turning your head, looking behind you. Do keep your bandha engaged, support that lower back. And then slowing it down, bringing it back. And coming to still pose. And then coming to the top of your mat. So we're going to move through our sun salutations, throwing in some nice warrior poses. So let's get started. Big toes touch, heels roughly a clenched fist width apart. Arms reaching down. Now push into your feet. Draw your kneecaps up, the fronts of your thighs up. Our little pelvic tilt here, drawing from your lower back, underneath you, drawing belly button up and in. Shoulders away from ears, neck is long. On your next inhale, reach the arms out. Reaching up, looking up. Turn the palms and swan dive. Hands either side of the feet. Bend the knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull shoulders away from ears, long neck. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. Keep the knee lifted, look forwards, coming up onto fingertips. Lunging here, pausing here. And then hands flat, stepping back to your plank. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Slide to your baby cobra. Push into the hands via the knees, tuck toes. Downward facing dog. Left foot stays down, right leg lifts up high. Looking forward, step or move the foot between your hands. Coming up onto fingertips, sink the hips low into your lunge, gazing straight in front of you, your drishti, your gaze, straight ahead. And then step the left foot forwards, toes together, heels apart in your fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out, up for your back bend. And exhale, swan dive. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower the knee, come to fingertips, sink the hips low. Can you sink your hips a little bit lower? And then step back, take your plank. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Slide baby cobra via the knees, tuck toes, downward dog. Left leg lifts up high. Looking forward, sweep the foot between your hands. Lower the right knee, flatten the foot, sink your hips forward. Feel a stretch down the front of the hip. And then tucking toes, right foot steps forwards to your fold. Reverse your swan dive on the inhale and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhaling out to your back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back, coming to fingertips or hand on the knee or arms lifted in a lunge, looking up between the hands. Can you straighten your back leg a little bit? Can you lift your arms higher? Can you sink your hips deeper? Breathing here. And then hands to the mat, step back, take your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Hug the rib cage with your elbows. Inhale, cobra or up dog. If you're in up dog, knees are lifted, let the hips sink down. Push hard into your hands. Neck is long. And then either via the knees or roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. Pausing here. Using this as your rest. If your wrists are feeling it, come down to a child pose. Otherwise, pausing here, breathing here. Give the head a nod, a shake, relax the neck. Push the chest towards your thighs. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up high, three-legged dog. Looking forward, step, or take behind the heel, move it between your hands. Come to fingertips, or hands on the knee, or full lunge. Lifting the arms, looking up, straightening that back leg. Can you straighten your arms a little more? Pull the shoulders away from the ears, sink the hips. Breathing here. And then hands either side of foot, step forward to your fold, toes together, heels apart. Inhale, reverse that swan dive. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few moments here, a few breaths here. Close your eyes. Little body scan. Are your big toes touching? Are your heels a clenched fist width apart? Push into your feet. Push into the outer edges of your feet. Your weight is even between your heels and the balls of your feet. Draw your muscles up your legs, squeezing up and in. Uddiyana Bandha engage, shoulders back and down. Strong standing pose. Inhale, arms out, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back, the right foot back. Take your plank. Pausing for a moment in plank. Keep the breath moving, neck is long. Draw belly button up and in. And then chaturanga as you slowly lower. Hug the rib cage with your wrists. Inhaling, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Give the legs a pedal. And then from our downward facing dog, right foot stays down, left leg's going to lift up high. Looking forward, step or move it between your hands, coming up, warrior one legs. So thinking about your train tracks, hips and shoulders facing forwards, bending and straightening that front knee, and maybe adjusting your stride length so you can come deeper. The goal in warrior one is to get the thigh parallel to the floor. So you need a big wide stride, 90-degree bend more or less in that front knee. The back edge of your back foot pushing into the mat, toes are tucked in, heel is further back. Hips over shoulders over hips, and then lift your arms, sink the hips, reach the arms higher. Now I find it more comfortable with my hands shoulder width, but you might like it hands together, biceps by the ears, shoulders are down. Choose what's going to work for your body. Lift the hands looking up, sink the hips a little deeper. Keep breathing, focus on that back leg, squeeze the kneecap, lift the muscles on the front of the thigh. And then turn your hands outward, bring your arms behind you, interlace fingers, squeeze the shoulders as you inhale, looking up. As you exhale, humble warrior, coming down, left shoulder inside left knee, arms coming up and over, breathing here. Give the head a little nod, a little shake. Can you lift your arms higher? Can you drop your head lower? Keep squeezing the shoulder blades. Keep working your shoulder deeper inside that left knee. Breathe. Then release your hands either side of the left foot. Step back and take your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, cobra, or up dog. Meeting in downward facing dog. Push chest to thighs. Weight stays on the left foot. Right leg up high. Looking forward, step, sweep, or move it between your hands. Warrior one on the other side. Train tracks. So walk the front foot out a little bit maybe. Bring your hips forward towards that front leg. Bending and straightening. And then maybe adjusting your stride. Coming deeper with your legs. Going for that lovely 90-degree bend. Hips and shoulders forward as arms release. Arms lift up, looking up, either hands together or shoulder width apart. Sink the hips, straighten the arms, looking up. Squeeze that left kneecap and front of thigh. Straighten that left leg as much as you can. Breathing here, looking here. Focus on your breath. Deep, slow, even breaths. And release your arms to the side. Interlace fingers behind you. Squeeze shoulders together as you look up. And exhale, folding forwards. Humble warrior. Arms coming up and as far over as is comfortable for you. Nod your head, shake your head. Can you straighten your arms? Can you lift them a tiny bit higher? Can you straighten that back leg, that left leg a tiny bit more? Can you hinge forward even another millimeter? And keep breathing, don't hold the breath. And release your hands either side of that right foot. Step back, take your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Or meet in downward facing dog. Give those legs a nice pedal. And then left leg lifting up high, three-legged dog. Looking forward, sweep, step, or just bring it forward, setting up warrior two. So, as ever, warrior two on a tightrope. Now, if like me, you've got lines on your mat, it makes life so much easier for warrior two. So, front foot heel in a direct line, hitting the center, the middle of your back foot. Shoulders aligned over hips. Back foot, toes cutting in a tiny bit, and a nice wide stride. Bending and straightening again. Let's work on the legs first. Adjusting your stride length if you need to come down to that lovely, lovely deep 90-degree more or less bend. Arms releasing out, shoulders over hips. Can you sink a little deeper? Can you reach your arms longer? And then turn and gaze at that middle finger. Reach the arms long, sinking here. Can you straighten that back leg just a teeny tiny bit? Nice. Now flip the front palm, reverse your warrior. Reversing, lifting that arm up, but don't straighten the front knee. Can you bring the bicep to the ear? Can you reach the right fingertips a bit further down your right leg? Firm up your core, draw your belly button up and in, to then bring yourself back. Warrior two. Beautiful. Flip the left toes in, right toes out. You're still on your tightrope. Arms reaching and then bending and straightening, sinking down. Warrior two on the other side. I'm not going to make you go through another chaturanga for this. Reach the arms long, draw the shoulders down, gaze towards that middle finger, sinking a little deeper perhaps. Straighten that back leg, lift the kneecap. And then flip the front palm, reverse the warrior. Reaching up and over. Breathing here. Can you slide the left arm down a bit? Can you bring the right bicep to the right ear? And then fire up your core, coming back up, warrior two. Release the hands and just step yourself in a little bit and grab your yoga block. If you haven't got a yoga block, a thick book will do, or if you know you can do half moon without holding a brick, then by all means come into it without. We're going to start off on the left side. So hold your block in your left hand, or if you know you can come down to your block easily, you can just have it on the left hand side at the top of your mat. Your choice. I like coming down to it, holding the block, makes it easier. So left toes are pointing forwards, right hand on right hip, and draw the right shoulder back and the right hip back. Look down about, I don't know, half a meter away from your big toe. Decide where you're going to put your block if you're holding it. Shift weight forwards. Keep looking down at the ground as you start to hinge, bringing the block to the mat and using the block as your prop. Straighten the standing leg, straighten your, oops, a daisy, if you fall out of it like I just did, just come straight back into it. Flex the leg, but foot behind you. Some days are wobblier, some days are easier. Now see if you can reset that shoulder open and the hip open a tiny bit. Now imagine you're looking at a ping pong ball underneath you. And it's just going to start to roll on the floor, and follow it with your gaze. Imagine it's rolling a couple of meters along the floor and then pause. Now imagine it's now going to travel up towards the ceiling, and follow with the gaze, move really slowly. Follow with the gaze until you're looking straight in front of you. If you're comfortable here and your standing leg is straight, release that right arm up to the ceiling. Rotate the hip open, the shoulders open, finding your balance here. And if you're wobbling, so am I, don't worry about it. This is a really strong pose. Reaching the arm up, continually working on like imagine there's a wall behind you. And you're trying to get your back and your hips flat against that wall. Keep breathing, deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Holding this for another 3, another 2, another 1. Bend the standing leg to bring yourself out of it and give your legs a shake. It is a tough one on that hip. And we're going to set up on the other side. So blocks in your right hand, either kind of on the longest setting or this one or this one. I think I'm going to go with the longer setting. I'm feeling a little bit fragile. So left hand on left hip, left shoulder open. Core engaged. Look a little bit in front of you. Start to shift weight onto the right leg. Start to lift the left leg, bringing the block to the mat. Lift that left leg up behind you, straighten your standing leg. Now, imagine that ping pong ball is on the floor, directly under your face. Start tracking along the floor. Move really slowly. Move super slowly, and once it's about 2 meters away from you, then imagine it's going up to the ceiling, and slowly start turning your head. Turning, looking straight in front of you. Maybe releasing the left arm up to the ceiling, flex that left foot, draw the shoulders and the hips open. That imaginary wall that you're trying to press yourself up flat against behind you. For another 3, another 2, another 1. Micro bend the leg and coming back up. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Our last warrior obviously is going to be warrior 3. I hate warrior 3. I'm not going to lie. It's my least favorite pose, but it's good for us, for our balance. I like to have, as you might know, a wall or something nearby that I can just pop a finger on. What can also work quite well is having something in front of you that you can bring your fingers or your hands to. So when you're in your warrior 3, you're supporting yourself. I mean, you're at home, make life as easy as you can, and then eventually it does become a little easier. So we're going to start off on the right foot. Shift your weight onto that right foot. You can start with hands at heart center, or you can have airplane arms out low or high. Full pose is obviously arms in front, reaching away from you. So fire up your core, start to lift that left leg. Start off hands at heart center. And you can use one hand to help you balance if you're feeling wobbly, lifting that leg and getting the standing leg as straight as you can. Now, once you feel comfortable in your warrior 3, you can really start to reach your arms forward, lifting that leg behind you, straightening the standing leg, finding your balance in your capital T shape. To come out of it, micro bend the knee and release yourself back up, coming to the other side. Again, you can start with hands at heart center and then just slowly, slowly start shifting forwards, lifting that leg up behind you, finding your balance, maybe arms out to the side, maybe arms long in front of you. Choose your option, whatever's going to feel nicest for you. Holding it for another 3, another 2, another 1. Micro bend the leg, coming back up to standing. And let's take it down, back down to the mat, working towards our Shavasana. So, toes out, heels are in, hands at heart center. Engage your core and start to shift your hips back. Bend the knees, adjust your feet as you need to come down to your squat pose, working your upper arms inside the knees, and then push the knees apart, bringing thumbs to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment and let's focus on your back. So can you drop your hips a little deeper? Can you find length in your spine? Can you lift your neck long, pull shoulders away from ears? Gaze is straight out, well, your eyes are closed, but you're looking, your face is facing forwards. And then just keep working on pressing the knees apart, breathing here. This should feel like a nice thigh hip stretch here. Another couple of breaths here. And then bringing your hands out behind you, dropping yourself down onto the mat, making sure you're about halfway down. Hands behind the thighs. Engage your core as you start to lift your feet. Knees are touching, feet are touching. You can do one arm lifting and then the other, or you can lift both arms in your boat pose, Navasana. Pull the knees towards you, reach the hands up, looking up between your hands, shoulders away from ears. We're going to stay here for another 10. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't put the feet down, bring the knees wide, take hold of the big toes. And then extend your legs long. Push the heels away, finding your balance here. Close your eyes. Relax the tops of the shoulders. Deep, slow, even breaths into your balance. Can you pull the toes harder? Can you push the heels further away? Can you straighten your legs just another fraction? And then super slowly opening your eyes, start to bring your legs up together. Release the toes and then hug the knees into the chest, forehead to your knees. Balancing on your sits bones, relax the tops of the shoulders. Deep inhale, long, slow exhale. Lifting your head, open your eyes. Feet on the mat, extend arms long. C-shape your lower back, tuck chin to chest. Use that strong core to super slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Draw the knees up and in. Give them a hug. A little rock from side to side. Massage that lower back. And then pause. Bring the right foot to the mat. Cross the left ankle over the knee. Kind of figure of 4 stretch. So reach left hand between your legs, right hand outside right thigh. Take hold behind the thigh, and you can push your left elbow against the knee if that feels nice. Draw that right leg in towards you. Try and relax the tops of the shoulders. Now you'll feel this stretch on the outer left thigh. It's a really good stretch after our half moon pose and our warrior poses, because our thighs work so hard in those poses. Keep breathing, keep pulling the shoulders down, pulling on that right thigh to deepen the stretch if that feels nice. You can close your eyes, you're not going to need them for the next few minutes. And then slowly, slowly release that right leg and uncross. Left foot to the floor, right ankle over the left knee. Drawing that left leg up towards you, interlace fingers behind the thigh. And again, you can bring the right elbow onto the thigh or the knee to deepen the stretch if that feels nice. But I want you to focus on relaxing the shoulders, pulling that left thigh in until you feel that really delicious deep hip stretch, thigh stretch on the right hand side. Breathing here. And then slowly release the grip behind the thigh. Bring both feet to the floor. T-shape your arms. Drop both knees one way. Turn head in opposite direction. Pausing here. Let the legs sink down. Lovely, lovely stretch on your lower back and into the left rib cage. And then engage your core to bring the knees back up to center. And then lower them to the left, turn head to the right. Relaxing here. On your next inhale, bring the knees up. Extend the legs long to the corners of the mat. Arms by your side. It's going to be a bit of a brief shavasana. Otherwise, we're going to go over time. Relax the feet down, the legs, the hips, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Deep inhale through the nose. Out through the nose. Release the shoulders. Deep inhale. Exhale, relax your face. Inhale. And exhale. Relax your hands, your arms. Keep breathing at your own pace. Focusing on relaxing the shoulders, the legs, hips and thighs. Relax. And then very slowly start moving your fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists rotating. Slide the legs together. Point your toes away from you. Inhale, arms up overhead. Reach them long behind you. Stretch the left side more, the right side more. And then draw the knees up into the chest. Give them a squeeze. Roll to one side. And use your hands to lift up to your comfortable cross-legged seat pose. Bringing hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Make some noise. Inhale through the nose. Exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale. Hands to the third eye, to heart center, and namaste, my lovelies.